right, here we go, another parawing session. Today is an exciting day. We've got the new Flow Paraglider Parawing with us. So these guys got in touch with me a little while back. We've been going back and forth about parawing development and what's good, what's bad, what's working, and they've created something that I am extremely excited about. So Flow Paragliders, you know, they are a very reputable paragliding company based out of Australia. These guys, they do amazing paragliders. So they have so much knowledge of how to build a proper bridle kite. And I'm really excited now to see what these guys came up with. So we're going to be testing a 4.2 meter D-Wing is what they call it. Downwind wing, I believe. And they have a big claim here that they have this technology called reflex airflow. So what that allows the wing to do is the shape of the canopy and everything that they've created allows the parawing to not collapse. And that's been a big thing with the BRM that I've been using. When it's overpowered, or if you want to depower it, you know, as much as possible, you reach a certain limit of how much you can point the bar and point the parawing upwind before it starts just collapsing on itself and it becomes really uncomfortable to ride. And today it's a perfect day to test this out. Okay, this is an extreme condition, extreme wind condition day. So we've got 40 degrees, so it's stinking hot, and we've got this very strong northerly blowing from the land, and it's just gusty and it's insane. So today it'll be good to see what this parawing will be able to do. First time flying it. I still have it in the bag, haven't even opened the bag yet. So let's get on the water, let's see what this new parawing will do. I'm super excited to ride a new parawing. I have only ridden the BRM up to now, the 4 meter Maliko, and I've been loving it. So let's see what this D-Wing from Flow Paragliders can do. Let's go. Got the going.
Fuck yes, well done, boy!
Fucking flat. Biggest butter ever. Paddle out. Here's the gust. This thing has incredible D-power. Really good. Is it?
I think I can redeploy.
the way on the left. VSAF on the wing. Bumps are really small, but we're going. And this thing over here, absolutely lit. It doesn't collapse. I don't know what these guys have done to this Parawing, but I need to fly it on land for a bit because it is incredible. Good job. Let's go get it. Go. Grab your board. DJ, let's go. Yes. All right, I have to stop and film this because it flies so well. I'm literally in 25 knots. This is a 4.2, so this is a big Parawing, and I'm flying it only on the front lines. I backstalled a bit, straight up. I'm literally just flying it on the front lines. So I can almost fully depower it, and if it starts to do that, I'll just do a little back tension and it's up. But literally super overpowered, but riding so good. Wow. Cool. So Parawing is stowed. It's a little bit bigger than the 4-meter Maliko, so it kind of sits a little bit proud of the pouch. But this thing flies like nothing that I've experienced. I'd only experienced the Maliko, but honestly, man, it rips. It was literally gusting 30 knots, and I was holding on to it, and it was not collapsing, which is crazy. Crazy to think about. Cool, so we go into Frankston now, have to peel left a bit. Feeling good on the 980. 135 tail. This is going super well right now. Gliding, surfy. These S series, man, I'll tell you, the best. Super glassy now, the wind stopped. It's so unpredictable, these northerlies. So sketchy. But 85 liter board is working well. Setup is good. Just don't fall down. Oh. Is extremely good. That's all I can say. I'm loving the different color lines, very easy to untangle. Loving that the leading edge is a different color from the Parawing's canopy, so when you're holding it in your hand, you know where you want to chuck it, like where's the leading edge and where it's going to pop up, so it doesn't really, you don't really throw it and it opens up in the opposite direction. So that's really helpful. It is extremely windy right now, easily above 25 knots, but then it dies down to like 15, so it's super sketchy. But this Parawing is holding up really well in these overpowered conditions. I haven't experienced it collapse yet, and that is huge. I'm just riding it on the front lines and it just hangs there. So there's something to be said about that. I feel it's a little bit bigger, maybe slightly bigger than the 4-meter Palico, but it's performing well. I'm just literally waiting for this squall to come by because I have too much power right now, and I'm finding it hard in super overpowered conditions to actually depower the Parawing. So even I'm going down, straight downwind, down the face of the bumps, I'm still getting power off of it. So just taking a little breather now, and we'll get back to it. Basically just on the front lines right now, and it does not collapse. This is huge. Look at that. Wow. Shit, man. There's no collapse. Wowee. This is a game changer. It's cooking now. It's cooking now. Yes, so good. Picked up so good now. Bumps are ripping. Absolutely ripping. This setup is magic right now. 980, 135 tail. Wow. And this pairing that doesn't collapse. What the hell? Woo. Let's try to get into this little section here. Yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Wow, conditions are nice. Ripping now. I have to start cutting left a little more, so let's do it. It's a little harder this way because the wind is kind of coming and stopping me from gaining a bit of speed, but still have to cut a bit to make our lines. Woo. Yes. Oh, tips out. Wow. The setup is magic right now. Ah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted to keep surfing this, but I need to cut left. Wow, it is magic. So fucking good right now. I don't want to stop surfing, but I need to continue to cut left, otherwise I won't make my checkpoint. Phew! This 980 is absolutely perfect for the bay right now. It turns on a dime. It's fast enough with the 135. Can't even imagine what it will feel like with the 120. That'll be my ocean setup for sure. That's what a lot of the boys are riding down in Torquay, and they all rip, man. They're doing so well down there. Woo.
right, session done. Holy what have these guys created? This D-Wing is something else, guys. The stability of this wing, I was out in literally 15 to like 30 knots. It was a horribly gusty session. Really like high peaks, very low lows, and just like glassy bits. And look, I was on a 4.2 and that thing performed extremely well. I think number one, the biggest thing for me was this non-collapsing canopy. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I would feel a really erratic feeling from the BRM when I was overpowered, and sometimes not even when I was overpowered. Sometimes if I'm just a little bit too sheeted in or sheeted out, you know, the input ratio to what would happen on the wing was very, very small on the BRM, you know, like minute, to the point where I think beginners on the BRM, if they weren't really paying attention to what they were doing on the bar, the kite would just be everywhere and all over the place. So this D-Wing from Flow Paragliders, I could just fly it on the front lines, literally just holding the front lines, the bar completely pointing upwards, and the canopy would release and it would not collapse. I couldn't get this kite to collapse. What happens though when you're fully depowered and you're just holding on the front lines, the kite becomes a little bit less responsive to direction. So what happens is, you know, as you're just holding it on the front lines, it starts to pivot, you know, in either direction, which is normal. There's no directional pull. So what you need to do then is just slightly give it a little tug on the rear lines and point it where you want it to go, and then it'll go that way. But there's no collapse, and it's very, very progressive. It doesn't really like go on and off like the BRM does, of just shooting into nothing and then opening up again and giving you that really, really reactive pull. So that was the biggest thing. It's literally something that it feels like a version 2 of Parawings already, in the way it flies. The second thing is the lines. So they went with a paragliding configuration of lines, and they color coded it, which is so much easier to get, you know, through your knots and your tangles. So they have a color coding that goes from red to orange to yellow, and it took me a little bit to remember that yellow was the trailing edge and red was the leading edge. But regardless of that, once everything was tangled up, it was so much easier to say, oh, okay, front lines, boom, you just pass that through the bar. So I was able to untangle this D-Wing a lot faster than the Maliko. The Maliko, sometimes, you know, you're in the water and you're like, how the hell do I get rid of this tangle? So that was number 2. Number 3, which I think goes a little bit, it has to do with this non-collapsing feature of the canopy. The amount of canopy in the D-Wing is a lot bigger than the BRM. So even though they're comparable sizes, a 4.2 to a 4, I felt that the D-Wing had a lot more material, because they do have to create a little bit more stability, which makes sense. So when I was packing it up, it felt a little bit bigger. Sure, it's a 4.2, but it also felt like putting it into the belt was a little tight for it. So I had to actually put the bar on those loops, which was something that I didn't have to do with the BRM. I would just chuck everything in the actual belt, and everything would fit. So I feel like the D-Wing has a little bit more material, and potentially feels a little bit heavier in the hand, but I think I still have to test it a little bit more to come to a final conclusion on that, because today was not the day to test anything, you know, in terms of having it perform in the correct wind range. Today was absolutely crazy wind, so I was super overpowered and sometimes underpowered, so it was just one of those crazy sessions. Other than that, the bar feels super light, carbon bar, so that felt really nice in the hand. When I'm flying the wing, I have so much more control. It feels like more like a kite than this really low aspect, you know, kind of like parachute that is just on and off. With the BRM, I had these feelings of the thing is just on or it's just off. But with the D-Wing, I was able to have a lot more sensitivity on the bar. It felt like I could work the bar a lot more as well and get the input I wanted from the kite without reaching the limit with a very small movement. The BRM is super sensitive to the point where, like, if you go 2 centimeters up and down on the bar, that's as much as you can actually depower it. Super sensitive and very reactive, while the D-Wing felt like I could go all the way out, all the way in. If I wanted more power, I could sheet in the back and I could just ride the kite on the back wings, the back lines. So I'm just super excited about this. I want to take this out in low wind. I need some more testing on it. Today was a 27 kilometer downwinder, which, to be honest, was so strong that all I wanted to do was get rid of the parawing because it was just pulling me so much. But it performed extremely well in horrible conditions, so I'm excited about what these guys are doing. I saw a few videos on Facebook, on the Parawing group. Have a look at what these guys are doing. They have come up with something that as a V1 feels like a second iteration of these Parawings already. So I'm going to keep testing them. I'm going to do a back-to-back comparison with the BRM and just trying to show how they fly, because I think you'll get a better appreciation of what I'm saying in terms of this non-collapsibility of the D-Wing, which when you're riding makes the riding so much more enjoyable. So stay tuned for more. Excited about this. There might be another session tomorrow, who knows, but I'm gonna be riding this D-Wing from now on and getting as much water time as I can on it. All right, see you guys.